Hello, welcome to Story Time, where I tell you stuff and you listen to it. A little backstory. So, I live in kind of a sketchy area of Milwaukee, and there is literally a homeless man who lives under my window. So, I was on my way to class, and I was waiting to cross the street. I was waiting for the light to turn on, and all of a sudden, three cops pull up, and they kind of go up to the guy that was standing right next to me, and there was a guy right behind me who started freaking out. Oh man, what I do? What I do? We don't need you right now, sir. Step back. What? What? Sir, we don't need you right now. What I do? So the guy that was standing next to me is all of a sudden getting patted down by the police, and the light has turned for me so that I can cross the street. So I'm kind of walking forward but looking back like, what the heck is going on? And all while I was doing this and while the guy was getting patted down, the other guy was freaking out, and he was like 300 pounds, like 6'5", so it was a little intimidating. Just because he was like so loud and like all over the place. So it was a little scary, and he was just like, what did I do? What? What's going on? Police are ignoring him, but all of a sudden they say to the guy that they're patting down, turn around. And then they just handcuff him. I was pretty surprised. Later that night at like 1 a.m., I get out of the shower and I hear screaming coming from my window, which isn't that unusual. But I look outside and see the old man who lives right under my window, and he's freaking out, which also isn't too unusual, because from like 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., every night he makes a list of things that he hates and says the F word between all of them. So he goes, women, Canada, ice cream, paintings. And he screams it as loud as he can and says the actual F word, of course. Anyway, he's acting a little abnormal tonight, where he's not listing off things he hates, but instead he's screaming like incomprehensibly. I can't really understand like what the conversation is. But I look outside my window and 4 cops are surrounding him. And he's waving his arms around, and he's kind of like moving his feet around like he's gonna go somewhere. He's kind of like pacing in place, and then all of a sudden he starts to run off. So the police chase him. They chase this old man who isn't going very fast, and he runs into a nearby store, and I can kind of see the reflection, because a bus had just pulled up. I can see the reflection in the bus windows, where the police is kind of trying to grab the man, and the man is like freaking out. He's waving his arms around, and they get him to come out of the store, and then all of a sudden 3 firefighters show up, and they also start to surround the man, which is just ridiculous because he's very old and like he can't get around very well. But there's these 4 cops, 3 firefighters. They're all like in a circle around him. And it's just very surreal. But eventually, they all were talking to him. I couldn't really hear what they were saying, but they get him to go into the police car, and then they drive off. And I slept great that night. Also that day, there was a fire in my building, and the whole floor that I live on flooded, so that was interesting. Thanks for listening. Let me know what I can do to make these better, because I have a lot of stories that I want to share, and I want to make it not boring or dumb. So yeah, bye!